Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Skywrath Mage.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota Pit League
Radiant
Season number
team
2 group
pick.
stages. Power Rangers versus Moscow 5 and all CIS affair, not only for this series, but for the next series as well. Thank you so much for joining us at twitch.tv/DotaPit. Again, game number 2 underway. Moscow 5 with already a 1-0 lead. I'm Mott. With me today is F4L. Man, how the hell are you?
I'm doing good. And I think we'll see a bit better performance this game out of Power Rangers.
10
I just
seconds
sort of
remaining.
feel like their draft didn't make too much sense with the Void and the
5
Anti-Mage
seconds
coming
remaining.
together. And a really solid draft in the previous game from
Reserve time.
N5. They had extremely strong 5v5 team fight with the Tidehunter, the Death Prophet, and the Medusa,
Radiant team
and it
back.
was just too much for Power Rangers to deal with last game.
And the Power
Dire
Rangers, honestly,
team ban.
it feels like they play really well in every other tournament except for Dota
Radiant
Pit.
team
I think they're 1-8 currently. A bit unfortunate.
It's kind of funny, actually.
I don't know how that happens, man. Like, how do you play so well and you're just like, oh, we're gonna lose all these games? To be fair, though, they've played against some really tough teams. They played against EG, Virtus Pro, and Tinker. And they won
10
one game against
seconds
Complexity,
remaining.
as I'm showing the standings on the screen now. But they are 1-8 currently.
Dire
So it's a
team
bit rough for
ban.
them. It's a bit of a rough start, to say the least.
Yep. And they start this draft by picking up the Batrider and the Vengeful Spirit. And
Dire
Moscow 5 are
team
going to go ahead and pick themselves up the Centaur and the
Radiant team
Skyrath. Pretty
pick.
good combination. Yeah, you're always going to have once the Centaur gets the blink, we'll probably see some smoke ganks coming out from both the Cent and the Skywrath so that they can combo the Hoof Stomp into the Mystic Flare. Dealing out tons of damage and, you know, some interesting bans coming out this game. You have the Viper first ban from M5 and the Doom in the second phase.
10 seconds
Doom's sort of a hero
remaining.
that's, you know, we haven't really seen very much
5
recently. I've
seconds
seen it a
remaining.
couple times in China. It's gaining some popularity there, and
Reserve time.
I think the hero is actually still quite strong. Once you get the Aghanims, it's basically still the same thing, and in the late game, I mean, he's just an absolute monster.
That seems to be the difference, is that people weren't building Ags as much before in previous patches, and now they realize that Ags Refresher is actually just almost impossible to deal with in some of these situations. And you can farm rather well if you have Devour and your Midas going. So I think Doom is a strong hero, although it's taken away. The Lena Band comes out from Moscow 5, which is
And
interesting, but
no Lycan bans, actually. Quite surprising.
these teams, we've talked about it before, like, Lycan's still a good hero, but these teams just don't deal with it. They don't pick it, they don't ban it. It feels like there's only a few teams in the scene that are really scared of Lycan or really love playing Lycan right now. I mean,
I think any team that plays Lycan, you have to ban it against them because
yes.
it's just an absolutely ridiculous hero still. So I guess Power Rangers maybe not too fond of Lycan, and honestly, you can even run it on the side of Radiant, so...
You have
Maybe
a couple
both.
of options.
Yep.
I think this is the puck comes out from Moscow 5 as well. Is that a
Dire
Vegas
team
puck?
pick.
Yeah,
think
most
so.
likely. That's
Yeah.
gonna probably be a... It could be a safe lane centaur, but most likely going to be that off lane centaur in mid puck. Unless we see some safe lane. I mean, it still could be a safe lane centaur with an off lane puck and then maybe a farming mid hero.
They have a lot of other options, but I think that's probably the best because Vegas has played puck before. Not so much available in Dota Pit, but
I
10
think
seconds
Puck's a better
remaining.
off laner in the current metagame. Although C9 do
5
put Puck
seconds
mid
remaining.
a lot with Fata, but they sort of use it as a space creator and then they pick a very hard carry, so maybe we'll
Reserve
see something
time.
like that from M5.
I think they have some options here. They have some. This is what I like about the draft. They have some things to work with. They can put heroes in different lanes and make it work. Power Rangers pick up Gyrocopter. That'll probably be Ditch's hero. Weaver's picked up from
Dire
Moscow
team
5.
back.
Oh, instant pick Weaver. So
Yeah.
looks like that was pretty planned out. And the Gyrocopter pick, not a hero that we see too much, and I mean, he's going to struggle until he is able to get his BKB this game.
Is this going to be another
10
game where they just try to split
seconds
push? Gyrocopter's okay at it. He's not as good as an anti-mage. He doesn't have the escapability
5
like a blink.
seconds remaining.
He's got flat cannon to work
no.
with. It's more of a team fight
They
oriented
have all
lineup, I think, for
team
Power
fight heroes
Rangers.
right now.
Yeah.
Reserve
So-
time.
This might not be a bad decision based on how last game went. Last game was, I think, like you talked about, a lot of it came down to the draft, but this game, it seems like they actually have a decent lineup. The Weaver is an interesting choice. I think it should be fine for the most part. Shikuchi's going to be pretty good. Lincoln Sphere against the Bat Rider, obviously, for the lasso, but he should have no trouble. He should have no problem dealing with that, assuming they can get a gem up at some point for the Bat Rider. So I'm interested to see that they picked the Weaver into these heroes that Power Rangers have. Although he's pretty good
Radiant
against the Ancient
team
Apparition. You
back.
can time lapse away from a lot of the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast damage. So it's not bad. What they've got, they have plenty of right click from Weaver. They have lockdown and spells and
Dire team
burst
pick.
from Puck, Centaur, and Skarath. For Power Rangers, they have a decent dual core with Vengeful Spirit and Ancient Apparition as in dual support combo, I should say. And then Gyro and Bat Rider, and then their mid probably is picked up now. Whatever Shackler is going to play is going to be picked here more than likely. Mag is banned out, interestingly enough, but I think that's just a wombo combo effect they don't have to deal with. So
Yep. And Mag would be quite strong on the side of Power Rangers. They'd be
10
able to empower
seconds
up that
remaining.
Gyrocopter as well as having the additional AoE teamfight presence.
5 seconds remaining.
And what are Power Rangers going to pick
Reserve
for the
time.
mid lane?
they have options.
10 seconds remaining.
Anything with AoE teamfight would be nice, like a Mag, but it's gone.
5
I don't think they put
seconds
this
remaining.
Void mid against Puck. They pick up the
Legion
Legion Commander. Wow.
Radiant team pick.
That was something else. They want the duel. I like it.
Yeah, they're also going to have the Purge so they can take off the most of the stuns and the silence from Skywrath as well. So, press the attack might be pretty strong in this game. Although I think Gyrocopter is most likely going to go BKB first item. So an
10
interesting
seconds
draft coming out
remaining.
from Power Rangers.
Is this mid Legion too
5
against
seconds
Yeah,
Puck?
it's mid Legion. Actually, it's kind of odd to me that they picked this Gyrocopter and then
Reserve time.
that's their pretty much only team fight hero. I mean, sure, these other heroes are good in team fights, but they're not necessarily, team fight specialists. I mean, Legion Commander has the duel, so they have a lot of single target with the duel and the Flaming Lasso, as well as the swap. And really the only AoE is the Ice Blast. And then you have the overwhelming odds nuke and the Firefly, but no real big AoE teamfight ults to combo with this Gyrocopter.
Right.
10
I
seconds
mean,
remaining.
I think that was the reason why Moscow 5 took at the mag. Obviously,
5 seconds remaining.
they have nothing really to lock anybody down and make this call down that great. There's a Lich coming up from Moscow 5, which Chance Frost is pretty good. He's going to win your lane. No problem. He's not the best at rotating early on, but I like the Lich. I like the fact that they all get it as well. I really like this hero.
I think it's going to be a Lich Weaver offlane, and then a Centaur Skywrath safe lane.
They get the best of the both worlds then. You get an early blink up for below your brain, and then you get Weaver farmed up top. You also stop Gyrocopter from farming effectively. And I would like to see them utilize that. We'll have to wait and see, though. And I think you're probably right, but I think this is also just a better draft for Moscow. I really don't know about the Legion Commander mid yet for Shaklo. I have to wait and see, but
I would have liked to see them actually pick up the Faceless Void again, and then actually put the Bat Rider mid
10
against Puck,
seconds
because Bat actually does quite well against Puck. It
5
has been nerfed
seconds
a few
remaining.
times, but there are situations where if you end up using